Hey artists, welcome back. This week we're going to be making gems and crystals. So I'm going to show you how to draw a few, and then you'll choose your favorite to draw again large. We'll trace it with Sharpie and then watercolor paint it in. So today you're going to need a piece of scrap paper for the practice. We're going to do 5 different practice crystals or gemstones, and then you're going to need another sheet to do a large one that you want to paint. Or if you want to do a big one of all of them and paint them, that would be great too. All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, artists, let's go ahead and get started on our crystals and gemstones. You're going to need first a scrap piece of paper because we're going to practice drawing them. And I've already sketched mine out, and I'm going to go over them in a darker pen. And then you're going to need another piece of paper where we can redraw the one we chose larger that we can outline in Sharpie and then paint. So today you are going to need a ruler to make it straight. You're gonna need your watercolor paints or tempera cakes with a brush, a cup of water, and a napkin if you wanna dab up the excess, and then a Sharpie to trace over the pencil lines. Okay, so I'm gonna move these out of the way. Go ahead and grab your practice sheet, and let's go ahead and practice a couple of the different shapes first so you can decide which one you wanna do. Okay, so on your first one, I'm going to label it 1. We're going to start with this kind of pointed crystal. I'm going to draw a triangle on the top, so a point, and then I'm going to draw 2 straight lines coming down off of that, and then I'm going to reverse it and put a point on the bottom of that. All right, once you have that part, we have the basic shape. We're going to draw the line details in the bottom. So I'm going to go to the top point, and I'm going to draw 2 lines coming out from that point, going down. So almost like a smaller triangle inside. And then you can go ahead and repeat that on the bottom point. And then what we're going to do is connect that with 2 straight lines going down the middle. Okay, last step is we're going to draw some other lines. So I'm going to make a connector between all these sections. So I'll go ahead and add one here, in the middle, and then one pointing up. So your ones on the end should point up like arms and then straight across. And then we'll repeat the opposite on the bottom. So I'm going to do a straight across, and then the next 2 are going to point down just like that. All right, that's our first type of crystal. Let's move over to the second one. We're going to do a diamond shape. So for the diamond shape, we're going to start with a trapezoid on the top. If you're wondering what a trapezoid is, it's kind of like a rectangle where the sides are at a slant. So I'm going to make a straight line at the top. And then I'm going to slant out on both sides. So I'm going to slant out on this side, out on this side, and then come across and draw the bottom. All right, so that's our trapezoid shape. And then we're going to add a triangle or a cone shape on the bottom of that, an upside down triangle. So from that end, I'm going to come down to a point and connect it back to the other side. So now we have our basic diamond shape. All we have to do is add the details. So I'm going to draw a zigzag. Triangles are kind of like, I guess, teeth going up. And then once you have your zigzags, go to the bottom where all of those zigzags met the bottom of the trapezoid. And we're going to draw a line going to the point. All right, that's all we need to do for our diamond shape. If you want to add some extra lines, you can too. All right, let's go down to the third option. This is going to be a cluster of crystals. So this is the one I did that looks like this. So they're pretty simple shapes, but we just do a few. So what I did at the bottom is I created kind of a cloud shape to represent kind of how they grow out of the ground. And then we're going to start by adding some small crystals and then layering them behind. So all we have to do for these shapes is draw 2 parallel vertical straight lines and then add a point to the top. So that's the basic shape. Then we're going to go down the middle and draw a straight line. And then we'll connect these to the sides with, again, some slanted lines. So I'm going to go up. And if you want to use your ruler to practice these, you can. I'm just kind of freehanding mine because I already sketched them out. All right, now I'm going to do another small one on the bottom. Straight lines, a point on the top. And then I'm going to, on this one, I actually added 2 lines to the middle, kind of like the top of this one. Your choice if you want to add that detail. And then same, I'm going to slant down, over, and up. And then draw those lines going down to the ground. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and enclose them in another cloud shape going around the bottom. And then that's the cluster. Okay, number 4, we're gonna do kind of like crystal pillars. So what you do is you wanna start out with some wiggly kind of blob lines. And it's, if you did the Grand Canyon project last week, it's similar to the way we did those landforms sticking out of the land. Okay, so once you have your 4 or 5 kind of floating, you want them to be long and skinny. You're gonna go ahead and just add 2 straight lines going down to the ground off each end of each blob, just like the Grand Canyon project we did last week. And then we're gonna go ahead and add some vertical lines. So I'm gonna go to the top and just kind of stack them. You can make them different lengths. Awesome, and then you can add a wiggly line to the bottom to kind of show some ground and connect all these clusters together. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do my last one, which is an emerald kind of cut shape. This one's pretty simple. We're going to make a straight line, and then we're gonna come down, and then we'll make 2 straight lines going down. So it's almost just like a rectangle with kind of cut off corners. And then we'll come in on both sides and then another straight line. All right, once you have the basic shape, we're gonna go in and just add the other details. So what I did is I went to each point that I had on the corners, where the corner would have been, and I want you to draw 2 lines connecting in from there, from each corner. All right, once you have those, we're just gonna go around and draw a smaller box inside, connecting those. Straight, down, down, over, straight, and then we're gonna work our way up. And then if you want, you can add another layer into that one. So I'm going to go 2 more straight lines coming off of those corners, and then go through and connect those. Okay, so then you have your emerald shape, and that's the one I did here. Okay, decide which one you like best, and then we're gonna redraw it big. I did a diamond, and I've already sketched it out, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my Sharpie to go through and trace that back over. Okay, once you have yours all traced in Sharpie, it's time to paint them in. And kind of what makes the crystals or the gemstones look really cool, I've seen some kids do like a diamond, they'll put all different colors, you know, kind of like a diamond reflects all the colors. But I think it looks really good if we do some spots very concentrated and dark. And then just as watercolor was meant to, we add water and have some light spots too. That's gonna make it look like the light is shining through. So you can see on this one, I left some spots almost completely white to make it look like that light is coming through. I'll go ahead and speed this up while I paint, and then you can go ahead and start painting yours in as well. Okay, artists, once you get all done, just let it dry, and then your choice if you would like to leave it like that, cut it out, or maybe add a background. Maybe it'd look cool to add like a really dark background to give it some contrast. If you want to send us a picture and show us what you worked on today, we would love to see it. And I'll see you guys next week for our art lesson then. See you then. Bye.